Hawking. This is my week 6 video blog part 1. Today we have a two-part discussion. The first will be how much of a contribution does requirements make to a software development project, and the second will be how would you test the interfaces and usability at the requirement phases of a software development project. So requirements are one of the most vital pieces to ensuring the success of a system or a project. So to ensure the optimal requirements are received, the methods in which these requirements are obtained are like equally important than anything else. So you got to think about it. When you talk about the requirement phase of a software project, you're pretty much talking about the second phase of the software development lifecycle, which is the analyst phase. The analyst phase is like the most important phase of the SDLC, because like during this phase, like requirements have a huge influence on a software development project due to the fact that one of the top causes of a troubled project is due to poor requirements. So like poor requirements have a significant impact on the end result of the system or the projects. So you got to think about like the requirements are like the blueprints that everyone involved on the project used to work from. So when there are like poor requirements, this can lead to like poor design and test, which in turn will cause like delays in the development and testing. So like the requirement must be revised, like hence like all of the delays like contribute to a late project when you trying to revise everything. So like poor product quality can result from the poor requirement as well, in situations where like key components are overlooked or even sometimes left out. So like when you go through that phase, you also have the testing part of it, which is like which is prioritized to focus on like what's important. So if the requirements are flawed or unclear, then testing is not properly executed and will eventually lead to like poor quality. So to pretty much avoid like poor requirements, it is highly vital that the analyst phase of the SDLC is like thoroughly completed without being overlooked. And in that way, like the whole project, everything dealing with the project will be done according to the standards that it needs to be done to. So the second one will be like how you test the interfaces and usability during the software development or in the requirement phase of a software development project. So like the usability of a system can be seen as the ease with which the system is used by users, like with the characteristic of being easy to use, or as is often to be said, like user friendly. So like usability is a critical aspect to consider in the development cycle of applications, which requires a user-centered design and carrying out usability testing. So such tests like cannot be ignored in the context of like the use of the software, which is essential to like conducting like the usability studies. When human machines like interfaces are built, like they are actually taking into account like the usability criteria. So interfaces are capable of allowing an intuitive, efficient, like memorable, effective, and enjoyable interactions when you're dealing with the usability of a system. So like usability testing is an essential element of quality assurance. Like it is the measure of a product potential to like accomplish the goal of the user. So usability testing is a method by which the use of a product are asked to like perform certain tasks in an effort to measure the product ease of use, task time, the user perception of the experience, and therefore. So in usability testing, most testers like test the ease of use of the user interface, and like most of the user friendly, some of them are non-friendly applications are products too. So usability testing is like a true test of how people actually use a website and determine that whether users like feeling comfortable with other applications or websites according to like the different parameters, like the flow of the web page, the browsing and the layout of it, or the speed and the content, like how many times do they have to click to go into something. It's pretty much like the basic standards of having an easy like website, they're easy to navigate, should I say. Another way to test the interface would be like integration testing. Integration testing allows like individuals the opportunity to combine all of the units within a program and test them as a group. So this testing level is designed to find like interfaces, defects between the modules and the functions. So this is like particularly like beneficial because it determines how efficiently the units are running together. So like keep in mind that no matter how efficient like each unit is running, if they aren't like properly integrated, like it would affect the functionality of the software program. So in order to run these types of tests, like individuals can make use of various testing methods, but the specific method that will be used to get the job done will depend greatly on the way in which the units are being defined.